With the rising demand for a more efficient and carbon-neutral way to generate energy, the demand for nuclear power plants is on the rise. These plants can generate enough power for more than 500,000 homes with just 20 tons of uranium per year, compared to the 4 million tons of coal to generate the same amount of energy. It's no wonder nuclear power plants are becoming more popular. They're cheaper, cleaner, and newer. It isn't all great, though. One of the biggest issues of using coal in industries is because of the waste. CO2 is released into the atmosphere, causing global warming and contaminating the air. Nuclear power presents a similar problem. It also produces waste, but in a different form. The waste from nuclear reactors is solid in the form of small ceramic-looking pellets, a little different from the green sludge we see on TV. However, still extremely dangerous. So if not into the air, where does this waste go? How do we safely remove it from the environment and contain it? And most importantly, how do we warn people? I'm Electa Philman. Excuse my poor camera quality, but thank you for joining me today. With nuclear power comes nuclear responsibility. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, nuclear waste can lead to serious health problems, including but not limited to increased risk of skin cancer, skin burns, radiation sickness, and cardiovascular disease. Obviously, it's not good to come into contact with this stuff, so where do we put it? Before scientists understood the dangers of radiation, radium, uranium, thorium, and other radioactive materials were incorrectly disposed of. Whether it was thrown in the trash, in the ocean, or even included in kids' science kits, little was done to contain and quarantine these materials. Today, the waste is stored inside large tanks, far from civilization, and usually buried under the ground in temporary repositories. However, the radiation is breaking through the defenses built into these tanks and is becoming increasingly dangerous. So, the need for a permanent storage facility is needed. I asked my friends if they had any ideas to fix this problem.
Why would you shoot it in the face?
This is a common answer, but it comes with some drawbacks. Shooting the material into space would in fact effectively dispose of this waste. However, it's extremely expensive, and the risk of explosion is too high. Rockets explode all the time, and if one carrying radioactive material blew up in the atmosphere, the result would be catastrophic. Today's most relevant proposition to fix this issue is the Yucca Mountain Repository. Yucca Mountain is located in Nevada and far into the desert, away from civilization. The conditions inside and around Yucca Mountain are considered to be near perfect for a permanent nuclear storage facility. One of the biggest problems with containing nuclear waste is water, and Yucca Mountain just so happens to have some of the perfect defenses against that. Water can erode and carry sediment miles upon miles downstream. This is no different for radioactive materials. The rock within the mountain is extremely hard, making it less permeable to water, meaning that the water won't get through it. Yucca Mountain is also in a desert, meaning that there's very little precipitation and less water in the area, leading to less water erosion. However, Yucca Mountain isn't all perfect. Although the rock inside Yucca Mountain is perfect for a repository, it does have one key weakness. If a strong enough earthquake were to shake Nevada hard enough to produce cracks in the stone, it would create a clean break. The problem with this is that most stone that cracks will end up with a little bit of sediment that eventually fills these cracks. Yucca Mountain would not, due to how difficult the rock is to erode. According to the National Geosciences Institute, Yucca Mountain sits very close to Tonopah, Nevada, where a 6.5 level earthquake was reported in 2016. The chances of a similar earthquake occurring within 10,000 years is very likely. Another drawback is people. According to the US Census Bureau, Nevada houses over 2 million people. Some of them are not too excited about the nuclear waste facility in their backyard. I asked my friends how they would feel about living near Yucca Mountain.
Let's do it, baby.
I guess it should be safe, but they're not gonna kill me. And if they do give me cancer, then I get to sue them for lots of money.
Dasha had a very different opinion.
Yeah, I'd probably kill myself.
Okay.
Despite the controversy, Yucca Mountain is at the top of the list for a permanent storage option. So, assuming everything worked out and the facility is established, how do we maintain the safety of the area? Nuclear waste takes 10,000 years to become safe. To put that into perspective, 10,000 years ago, the agricultural revolution was taking place in the Middle East. We were entering the Stone Age, and the last ice age was just coming to an end. Climbing and being around Yucca Mountain would not be an issue. However, digging into or building around the mountain creates the possibility of this waste being resurfaced and contaminating the area. So how do we warn future generations not to build or dig here? Language is always changing. Only 1,000 years ago, Old English was spoken in Europe, a now unrecognizable language. As language changes, so do the symbols within it. Take, for example, the traditional heart shape. This used to be used to label medicines and spices, and now is a symbol of love. Another common example is the swastika. Once used as a symbol of peace and love within Buddhism, is now used as a symbol for anti-Semitism and the occupation of Germany. As language and symbols change in such a short amount of time, the biggest problem Yucca Mountain faces is a need for a recognizable stay away sign. Some would say that the obvious answer is the bright yellow trefoil symbol we all know and love, but this may not be as efficient as we had hoped. Take these two versions of the trefoil radiation symbol. Which one do you think is better? Which one do you think is the original? I asked my friends to choose as well. So, I'm going to show you guys two symbols, and you're going to tell me which one you like better.
I like the yellow.
And he liked better.
I like the yellow.
Which one do you think was the original?
The yellow.
You like
I
better.
like that one better.
This one? What's the reason why you like this one better?
His brighter colors, which is more appealing to me.
Which one do you think was the original?
That one.
The yellow one?
Yeah.
The original symbol that was used for warning for radiation is the magenta and blue symbol. But now the yellow and black version is more recognizable as the symbol showed up in pop culture more and more. I recreated a study done when scientists were trying to determine what would be used as the new biohazard symbol. I had my friends draw and label as many warning signs as they could think of. The result was them drawing more than they could label. Signs like a stop sign were easy. It says the word stop, but since we can't rely on language staying the same, we need a picture. They drew a few different symbols, such as the danger of electric shock symbol, but couldn't remember exactly what it meant. This is likely because the lightning bolt sign is associated with many other meanings, such as storms, batteries, charging cables, and many others. But we need a universal stay away message, one that won't be mistaken for anything else. I asked my friends if they had any ideas.
I think that doing a skull is the most universal because our skeletons have not changed as much as our language has, so I think that would be the most universal.
Asha has a point here. Although our language has changed so much in just a few thousand years, our biology has not. A symbol as universal as a skull would undoubtedly fend off intruders. A skull and crossbones is one of the most notorious symbols of death. It can be found on gravestones from thousands of years ago, pirate flags from centuries ago, and today in Halloween costumes. Although all of these maintain a sense of fear and creepiness, it can be applied to many different aspects of our lives and is already widely used. We need something that is not widely used and is not already associated with anything else. Using the guideline that our biology will not change, we find a new path to discover possible options. Psychology, for example. Humans are wired to fear the unknown and things we can't understand. Spiders are a common phobia among humans. This is because their many legs and jagged movements are hard to understand and predict. This brings us to my favorite idea submitted to the Department of Energy: brutalistic architecture. The idea is to gather large amounts of granite and construct them into large spires and arrange them in confusing and frightening patterns. From this, we also get ideas like fields of barbed wire and large labyrinths impossible to escape. This would be effective in scaring away some people, but as I said earlier, being around Yucca Mountain is not an issue. The real problem is stopping people from digging and constructing around it. The spires would make it inefficient and unreasonable to build there, considering how hard and abundant granite is all over the world. The spires are effective, but not in conveying a message. To fix this, we add a message on the side of the spires. The message proposed to the Department of Energy was as follows: "This place is a message, and part of a system of messages. Pay attention to it." Sending this message was important to us. We considered ourselves to be a powerful culture. This place is not a place of honor. No highly esteemed deed is commemorated here. Nothing valued is here. What is here is dangerous and repulsive to us. This message is a warning about danger. The danger is in a particular location. It increases toward the center. The center of danger is here, of a particular size and shape, and below us. The danger is still present in your time as it was in ours. The danger is to the body, and it can kill. The form of the danger is an emanation of energy. The danger is unleashed only if you substantially disturb this place physically. This place is best shunned and left uninhabited. In addition to this, the message would be written in English, as well as 3 other widely spoken languages to work as a kind of Rosetta Stone. At the bottom of this message would be 2 faces, one that resembles the Screamer painting by Edvard Munch, and the other a grimace closer to a crying baby. Using these 2 faces, regardless of where one comes from or how expression of emotions changes over time, the distressed face will say, or should I say scream the message, "Stay away." Do you think this is an effective way to warn people? Do you have any better ideas? Please let me know, and thank you for joining me today. I am Electa's roommate, and I want to go to bed, making me do this. Alright.